Alright, welcome back. So today, patch 3.12 has just come out, meaning there's no more Throwing Dagger, there's no more Golden Bow, so you go back to either using Transcendence as your starter item, or you go back to using Death's Toll as your starter item. Now today I have JING WEI here, so let's get into it. Now, for JING WEI, for a starter item of choosing, my personal preference would just be Death's Toll. If you prefer Transcendence, that's fine, but for my reason for going into Death's Toll is I don't feel like her one is actually worth investing a Transcendence into. I don't feel like her first ability does a whole lot of damage to minion waves. It's not really dependable. Another reason why you might consider going to Death's Toll for JING WEI is when you go ahead and use your 2, it activates your auto attacks being actually wider, so you can actually hit multiple minions and therefore actually proccing Death's Toll multiple times, giving you a lot of health and mana back really quickly. So after your starter item of choosing, I'm going to go into Warrior Type of Boots. My personal preference, the only time I would go into Ninja Type of Boots right away would be if I go into Devourer's Gauntlet. Reason being, obviously, Dev Gloves has no attack speed. Ninja Type does, so you don't want to have like some type of good balance between physical power and attack speed. So yeah, going into Warrior Type of Boots. My personal lifesteal item of choosing is definitely the Soul Eater. The passive I feel is just so strong, and yeah, I can't really pass it up. It provides you with a huge heal if you have all 20 stacks. It's like 30% heal or something like that. It's a really ridiculous heal. Honestly, Warships fine, I prefer that. Bloodforge, I just would not consider it at all. I don't really feel like it's a good hunter item, just in general. So after this, after you go into your lifesteal item of choosing, you have a few other options you can go into. Now, when patch 3.11 came out about like a few weeks or so ago, it actually buffed up Executioner, and you might actually see an Executioner Demonic Grip actually being picked up again, since they took 1 stack off of it, so it only takes 3 stacks to get all of your penetration on your target, so it's a lot quicker to get online, and as well as each stack is actually stronger to kind of make up for it only being 3 stacks. So instead of being 8%, it's 12% per stack, so it's pretty huge. With that buff, you might actually see this being part of the meta now, so you can play around with it and see if you like it. If so, definitely pick it up here, and then you can go into your Shin size. This is pretty much your main core item for all hunter builds, honestly. Now, if you prefer going into Kins over Executioner first, like let's say after Lifesteal you want to go right into Kins, that's fine, and then you can go to Executioner. Let's say if you don't like Executioner, what you would do is you would just go straight into your Kins after your lifesteal item, and then for your penetration, you would just go into Titan's Bane. For a sense of you're fighting a lot of tanky targets, you could do something like this. You can go to Executioner, then you can go into Kins, and then you can pick up Titan's Bane. This does a lot of things here. So for one, you have tons of penetration when you're fighting enemy gods, so if they have any physical protection, well, now it's gone. As well as having Titan's Bane allows you to do a lot more damage to structures. Since Executioner doesn't actually apply stacks to structures, Titan's Bane is just a flat 33% of physical penetration, so it allows you to just tear down structures like towers, phoenixes, the Titan, fire giant. It's really strong for that. But for now, let's just take out Titan's Bane here and just stick with the Executioner. Now for JING WEI purposely, she has built-in crit into her kit, so when you activate your 2, you have increased critical strike chance up to, let's see, 25%. So you definitely want to make some usage out of that. So I'd highly recommend going to some crit items. I'll probably just go straight into the Winged Demon, and then you can go ahead and sell your starter item of your choosing, of your own choosing for your next crit item. You can go either into maybe say Malice. I'll probably just go into Deathbringer. So between using your 2, you have 25% crit there. With Wind Demon, you have 20% crit there, and then you have another 20% crit from Deathbringer. So when you do a crit, it's going to crit for a lot with the passive from Deathbringer, as well as when you do a crit, it also procs the Wind Demon passive, giving you increased attack speed and movement speed of 20% for the next 5 seconds. So you have a lot of power and you have a lot of attack speed with this build. Don't forget to use your 1 if you can to actually give you a nice steroid of increased attack speed up to 40%. So our base stats here are 200 physical power, and our attack speed is looking like 1.98. So let's just do a few auto attacks here. Okay, I forgot how my 2 proc, but as you can see, that's a lot of attack speed, man. That's a lot of attack speed. And as you can see on the bottom, we are proccing our Wind Demon, giving us another 20% attack speed, bumping us up to 2.18 attack speed. And that's not even including your 1. So you go into your 1. I mean, I still think it's a little ridiculous to CC yourself to get a steroid, but yeah. As you can see, our attack speed bumps up to 2.5, which 2.5 attack speed is actually the cap. as well as you do have a built-in Haste Ventalis effect, so you don't have to invest into buying Haste Ventalis. So all you have to do is you can either just use your 3 straight up, or you can knock yourself up and then use your 3, and that will actually extend your duration of having that Haste Ventalis effect. So you have a lot of built-in steroids, and with this build you have just a massive amount of both power, you have pin, you have attack speed, you have everything you want with this type of build. Again, it works pretty much the same if you switch execution out for Titan's Bane. Now, since this patch just came out, 3.12, relics have changed a lot, and there's also new relics. So for talking about Jing Wei, there's a new relic that you should definitely watch out for. It's not new if you played in Season 2. This relic here, it used to be called Shield of the Underworld. It is now called Thorns. So when an opponent procs this item or activates this item rather, they reflect 40% of all of your damage you've done to them before mitigation. So reflects a whole lot of damage back. And so if you do crit on a target that is using Thorns, you're going to get splashed back with a lot of damage. So just kind of be wary of that. If you don't know what it looks like, let's go ahead and use it now. So yeah, it's pretty obvious when an opponent uses this. So when they use this and you have crit in your build, I wouldn't recommend attacking them. Unless if you have a lot of HP, you know, like if they have really low HP and you have a lot of HP yourself, then you could probably be just fine. If you don't have crit in your build and then they use that, as long as you have a good amount of HP, you can just continue attacking them right through it if you feel like it. So yeah, that is going to actually wrap it up for the video. Hopefully it was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.